And that will be all, folks. Capital Courts remain undefeated. The emotion pouring out on the court. And for the first time in 3 years, or 2 years, 2022, Capital Courts win the OSBA Women's Championship, taking down the undefeated Crestwood squad and avenging their loss from last season against that very same team.
So after last season, we took a pretty good beating in the finals by Crestwood. It was an eye-opener for us, and I think it's not like we didn't develop the players to be, or prepare the players to be the best they can be in that game. But what I think we were missing was that kind of inner strength to fight through adversity. And Coach Fab and I, we really looked deep into, basically looked ourselves in the mirror and said, we're missing something. So moving into this year, we knew we had to come up with something that will carry the team forward, especially in times of adversity and when the chips are against us. When we came up with the t-shirts and we came up with the logo, it started to resonate. I think the buy-in was relatively easy, and that's kind of where we saw the girls starting to, to buy into the whole kind of dog mentality. Because when we took that beating, I posted a graphic on our social media page with a Band-Aid over our logo, because we were hurting bad. And that's kind of when we decided we need dogs. We absolutely need dogs. We can recruit a couple dogs in, but I think what we had was something pretty good in the stable already. We just needed to just refine and bring out what was already inside them. Even on, when we started playing games, even the announcers started to see our style of play was rugged, it was rough, it was gritty. And that's, I think, what we were missing the year previous. And I think that's what kind of carried us through, is that grit and that fire that was burning inside of these girls.
Reflecting on the season, I think we knew that this was a special group as we walked in the gym, just in terms of how excited they were about the season, how excited they were about the work that they had done, how they started to believe and trusting in the work that they had done. And I think the big thing that we had to work on is making sure that we understand how strong our sisterhood was. And that was what kind of took off. This group literally loves each other. And, and I think all the road trips kind of solidify that, mixing them up on a regular basis, depending on which band, who's with Merrick, who's with Coach Fab, who's with Coach Shen. So that mix up, and some of the silliest games that they play, and some of the things they talk about, and it's about anything and everything and being vulnerable with each other. That was just powerful, I know sometimes as we're driving and we have our ears on because we're like, okay, we can't listen to this for another 4 or 6 hours. But that was the fun of it. It was just so much fun to hear them talk to each other and respecting each other. That's a huge thing. So our values really were shining on a daily basis. They lived our values. They respected the values and the program and what it was bringing to them individually, but as a team. I think the turning point for us was that weekend we went to Niagara and we had to leave early because we knew there was a storm and we couldn't afford to miss those games. So we left early. Thank God school got closed for 2 days because the storm was so big in Ottawa. So they didn't miss any school. So it was Tuesday to the following Monday, because that storm was not letting out. And it was probably the best time we had together in terms of talking and being vulnerable with each other now. Like, let's be, and that's where we had our truth moment, because this team said, we don't need truth night. But we did. We had a truth night, and they even kicked me out on one of the truth nights. They're like, Coach, we got this. We did one with you, but now we want one together. So that's when we knew we had something special. We're like, man, I said, that's a special group. And I think a lot of our themes this year, which were the dog mentality that Merrick talked about, stronger together, it takes a village, which is including the families, the sisterhood in the community, the school, everyone embodied that, not just us. So when you make a community and a school involved in what the dream is for these young ladies, it's a lot bigger. And so I always say that, I said, Merrick and I always said we want to win, but we want to win as a community. So we didn't just win on the court, we won off the court. And that's what a championship is all about. And that's why we want to celebrate it with everyone that we know that has been involved and touched and impacted these players. So our goal was to inspire and impact. And I think we did that as a collective. I think when I look at this banner, it's, this year was about being a superhero. And I think this is kind of our cape. So this is the team cape. We were able to all impact the game without scoring. And I think this one shows that even from Coach Shen, Merrick, Christine, I'm sure I'm missing people that have been so involved in the coaching staff and our staff, is that we all had an impact without scoring on the floor, and this is our cape. So it's a good way to finish, because we now have the appropriate cape. We don't have Merrick drawing it on us on social media. So this is the way I see it, and this is what is the wrapper that we needed to finish the season. And I'm so happy for these young ladies that are leaving our program, that they're leaving with the goal that they had in mind when they set it up at the beginning of the season.